October 23, 2025, FBI agents are outside a house in Lake Oswego, Oregon. Inside is Chauncey Billups. At the exact same hour, federal agents move on 30 other people. By the afternoon, Billups is in a federal courtroom in Portland, still wearing the brown hooded sweatshirt and gray sweatpants from the Trailblazers bench the night before. The judge asks if he understands his right to remain silent. He says one word: yes. That is the only word he speaks. He is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The indictment describes a poker table that could see through cards, shuffling machines that send hands to an operator off-site, 3 organized crime families. But there is a second document, a separate case. One Billups is never named in. In it, the federal government describes a man. They will not say his name, but they will tell you everything else about him. A resident of Oregon, an NBA player from 1997 to 2014, an NBA head coach since at least 2021. One man fits all 3. They call him Co-Conspirator 8. Chapter 1. The World Before. September 25, 1976. Denver, Colorado. Chauncey Ray Billups is born. He grows up in Park Hill on the east side of Denver. By 5th grade, he is already beating grown men at basketball in the neighborhood leagues. People give him a name, the King of Park Hill. He will carry that name for the rest of his life. Decades later, he has it tattooed on his arm. At George Washington High School, he is named Mr. Colorado Basketball 3 times, Colorado Player of the Year. He is named to the McDonald's All-American team, the highest honor in American high school basketball. 2 seasons at the University of Colorado, 18.5 points a game. Then 1997. The NBA draft. The Boston Celtics had the best odds in the lottery that year, a 36.3% chance at the first overall pick, the pick that would become Tim Duncan, a player who would go on to win 5 championships. Boston loses the lottery. They pick 3rd instead. They take Chauncey Billups. He starts 44 of 51 games as a rookie. He averages 11 points and over 4 assists. He believes, the way every 21-year-old taken 3rd overall believes, that this is it. This is where his career happens. 9 years, 51 games into his career, Boston trades him. Toronto, then Denver, then Minnesota. 3 teams in 3 years. By 2002, Chauncey Billups has been a first-round pick, a starter, and a man traded so many times that nobody in the league is calling him the future anymore. Then Detroit signs him, and everything changes. The Pistons, built on defense, built on the idea that no team of stars could outthink a team that played for each other, face the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals. Detroit beats them in 5 games. Billups averages 21 points and over 5 assists across the series. He is named Finals MVP. They give him a new name, Mr. Big Shot. By the time his playing career ends, Chauncey Billups has earned an estimated $106 million. In 2021, the Portland Trailblazers hire him as head coach. In April of 2025, they extend his contract, $4.7 million a season. In 2024, the Basketball Hall of Fame inducts him. October 22nd, 2025, the Trailblazers season opener. Portland loses to Minnesota. Billups is on the sideline, same as every night for 4 years. He goes home. He has been traded before. He has been told his career was over before. He has rebuilt before, from a 3rd overall pick discarded after 51 games, to a champion, to a Hall of Famer, to a head coach with a new contract and years still ahead of him. He has survived every version of this league turning on him. Chapter 2. The Rupture. Portland, Oregon. Mark O. Hatfield, United States Courthouse. The arraignment lasts 8 minutes. He is released. Conditions: he must surrender his passport. He may only travel within Oregon and Colorado. He is barred from contact with the other defendants. He is barred from gambling. That afternoon, his attorney releases a statement. To believe that Chauncey Billups did what the federal government is accusing him of is to believe that he would risk his Hall of Fame legacy, his reputation, and his freedom. He would not jeopardize those things for anything, let alone a card game. Hours later, the NBA places him on immediate unpaid leave. The Trailblazers name assistant coach Tiago Splitter as an interim head coach. The man who beat Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant in the finals, the king of Park Hill, Mr. Big Shot, a Hall of Famer with his number in the rafters, walks out of a federal courthouse in the same clothes he wore on the sideline less than 20 hours earlier. In New York, FBI Director Kash Patel is standing at a podium. He calls it an illegal gambling and sports rigging operation that spanned years. He says the fraud is, in his words, mind-boggling. Tens of millions of dollars, theft, robbery, a multi-year investigation, and at the center of the indictment against Chauncey Billups is a single object, a poker table, one that prosecutors say could see through the cards. Chapter 3. The Game. Beginning in at least 2019, prosecutors say, a scheme runs for years. Weekly poker games, high stakes, cash only. The targets are wealthy, strangers to the regulars. The indictment has a word for them. Fish. To catch a fish, you need bait. The indictment has a word for that too. A face card, a well-known former professional athlete. Someone whose presence at the table makes a stranger feel safe, legitimate, like the game is real because a Hall of Famer is sitting right there, playing it. One of the face cards named in the indictment is Chauncey Billups, but a face card only gets the fish to sit down. What happens after that, prosecutors say, is engineered. Inside the card shuffling machine sits a hidden layer of technology. Not visible to players, not visible from the table, but while the machine shuffles, it reads every card passing through it, one by one. 52 pieces of information, mapped, tracked, recorded. It already knows where the winning hands are. That information is sent out to an operator no one at the table has ever seen. The operator calls a phone. At the table, the person who answers has a name in the indictment, the quarterback, sometimes the driver. The quarterback now knows what's in everyone's hand, and he tells his team. Not with words, a touch of a chip, a scratch of the wrist, a glance. Small enough that a fish would never notice, large enough to win every time it matters. And if the shuffler isn't enough, there's more. A poker chip tray. The kind that holds the dealer's chips during a normal game. This one has a hidden camera inside it, reading cards as they hit the table. A poker table with X-ray technology built into the surface itself. It can read cards lying face down, contact lenses, eyeglasses, built to reveal ink the human eye cannot see, already marked on the back of every card. The quarterback, the hidden camera, the X-ray table, the marked cards. Prosecutors call the people running all of it the cheating team. The face card sits with them, at the table, smiling, playing. Prosecutors allege that in April of 2019, Chauncey Billups was one of 5 people at a rigged game in Las Vegas. The shuffling machine was running. The fish at that table lost at least $50,000. One of the organizers sent a message about him that night. He was starstruck. In October of 2020, a different game, a different night. Prosecutors say Billups was wired $50,000 afterward across every game: Manhattan, the Hamptons, Las Vegas, Miami. Prosecutors say the fish lost a combined total of at least $7 million, but the cheating team did not run this alone. Since 1931, organized crime in New York has operated through 5 major families: Bonanno, Colombo, Gambino, Genovese, Lucchese. Today, prosecutors say the Genovese family is the most powerful organized crime family still operating in America. 3 of these families, Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese, are named in this indictment. And 2 of the regular games had a different kind of backing. One, on Lexington Avenue in Manhattan, was on record with the Bonanno family. The other, on Washington Place in Greenwich Village, was on record with the Gambino family. These families took a cut of every game, whether it was rigged or not. And when a fish refused to pay what they'd lost, prosecutors say the answer was old. Threats, intimidation, in at least one case, assault. In another, a man was robbed, at gunpoint, not for cash, for a shuffling machine, the same kind of machine that reads the cards. Stolen so the games could keep running. This is the world prosecutors say Chauncey Billups was part of. Not the quarterback, not the operator, not the men with the gun. A face card, a Hall of Famer, at the table, making it look real. But there is a second indictment. In it, Billups is not accused of sitting at any table, not accused of being any face card. This one isn't about poker at all. It's about the Portland Trail Blazers and one basketball game in March of 2023. Chapter 4: The Second Indictment. This indictment is not about poker. It does not name Chauncey Billups. It does not charge Chauncey Billups with anything, but it describes someone, and the description is specific. A resident of Oregon, an NBA player from approximately 1997 through 2014, an NBA head coach since at least 2021. The indictment gives this person a label: Co-Conspirator 8. Here is what prosecutors say. March 24th, 2023. The Portland Trail Blazers are 32-40. Out of playoff contention, 10 games left in the season. A road game against the Chicago Bulls means nothing in the standings. Prosecutors allege that before this game, Co-Conspirator 8 told a man named Eric Ernest something, that the Trail Blazers were going to tank, intentionally lose, to improve their odds in the draft lottery. And, before the news was made public, Co-Conspirator 8 allegedly told Ernest something else, that several of Portland's best players would not be playing, including one player. The indictment calls him Player 1. His identity, it says, is known to the grand jury. Ernest allegedly passed this to another man, Marvez Fairley. Fairley allegedly promised Ernest $5,000 if the bet paid off. Fairley, along with Shane Hennon and a separate co-conspirator, placed wagers against the Trailblazers, roughly $100,000 total. Now, the league's own injury report. For that same game, that same day, Player 1 starts the day listed as probable, then questionable, then out. 3 updates. One day, each one moving in the same direction. The direction Co-Conspirator 8 had allegedly already described before the first update was even posted. It's worth saying, fans and reporters were already speculating that Portland might be tanking. The team was out of the playoffs and the pattern wasn't invisible. But speculation is not the same as knowing. And what the indictment alleges is that Co-Conspirator 8 wasn't guessing. That night, 4 of Portland's highest scoring players do not play Damian Lillard, Yusuf Nurkic, Jerami Grant, and Finney Simmons. 2 nights earlier, Lillard had scored 30 points, Nurkic 20. Now, neither of them plays. The Bulls win, 124-96. The bets against Portland pay off. Lillard and Nurkic do not play again for the rest of the season. The Trailblazers finish with the 3rd pick in the draft. The indictment is clear about one more thing. Co-Conspirator 8 does not appear anywhere else in the document. Not as someone who placed a bet, not as someone who profited, not as someone charged with a crime. Just a description that happens to match one man. Head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Chauncey Billups. Chapter 5, where it stands. Eastern District of New York, 31 defendants, 2 counts each: wire fraud conspiracy, money laundering conspiracy. One of those 31 defendants is Chauncey Billups, bond set at $5 million. Collateral, his home in Greenwood Village, Colorado. No passport. Travel restricted to Oregon and Colorado. No gambling. No contact with the other 30 defendants. No contact with any member of organized crime. He walks out without saying a word. The government keeps working. By March 2026, the evidence in this case includes more than a terabyte of data, the digital equivalent of a small library, plus over 100,000 pages of financial records and more than 800 surveillance photographs. 25 separate rigged games, prosecutors say. Going back to 2019, Billups connected, they say, to 2 of them. March 4th, 2026. Status hearing, Brooklyn. The courtroom fills again. All 31 defendants present. Billups present, his attorney present. Neither speaks to the judge, neither speaks to reporters on the way out. 12 defendants are about to receive formal plea offers. 9 others are in active negotiations. The government calls those talks productive. They say they are reasonably optimistic. Nobody says Billups is in those conversations. Nobody says he isn't. Judge Reyes gives them a deadline. November 2nd, 2026. That is the trial date. Now, step outside the courtroom. The Portland Trail Blazers did not fire Chauncey Billups. There was no press conference, no termination letter made public. His contract, signed 6 months before his arrest, multiple years, $4.7 million per season, was not torn up. It was simply set aside. His replacement had never been a head coach above the French league. Thiago Splitter, 41 years old, a former NBA center, a 2014 champion with San Antonio, hired onto Billups' own staff less than 5 months before the arrest. He took over on Game 2 of the season. He went 42-39. Portland finished above .500 for the first time since 2021, made the playoffs for the first time in 5 years, 7th seed in the Western Conference, lost in the first round to San Antonio 4-1. The team that Chauncey Billups built for 4 years, the rebuild he was hired to lead, the young core he developed, made the postseason the year he was arrested. The franchise now has a new controlling owner, Tom Dundon. He is already looking for a permanent head coach. Splitter is not expected to be chosen. Billups is not expected to be considered. His contract exists on paper. His salary sits frozen. His passport is in a government drawer somewhere. He sold the house in Lake Oswego. He is in Colorado. He has not spoken publicly in over 7 months. The only words on record in his defense belong to his attorney. In the meantime, the team plays on without him. The case moves forward without resolution, and a Hall of Famer sits in Colorado waiting. Federal case open. Verdict none. Trial date November 2nd, 2026. That is when it gets decided.